Good evening, folks, and a very warm welcome to you to DinamoTV. It's episode 36, and my name is Tonchi Prusats. I'm your host for tonight's show, and it's getting closer. Yes, that one day in September we talk about, and we have been talking about for a while, the Australian Croatian Soccer Tournament, the 2024 edition. This time next week, the tournament will be going strong. The opening ceremony will have been concluded, and it will be all action on the field and off the field. And as a result, next week's episode will be coming out on Wednesday night. Just to show you how dedicated we are to the cause here at St Albans Dinamo, next Wednesday night is my wedding anniversary, and I'm still going to be hosting DinamoTV. Folks, we've got a massive show lined up for you tonight. Lots to get through. We've got some great guests, some huge guests, lots of news, lots of announcements, lots of video footage as well of stuff that has been happening over the last week or so, or over the weekend, and indeed this week. Guests tonight, we've got KRISTIAN DOLIC, the Juniors President. He'll be talking to us about the great success the Dinamo Juniors had at last weekend's Victorian Croatian Cup, the Cro Cup, down at Geelong. We'll also be speaking to MARKO BUTORAC. He's a member of the organising committee from the Tournament Organising Committee. Lots to get through with regards to the tournament, lots to announce as well, so they'll be coming on a bit later on in the show. And certainly last but not least, we'll be talking to the Senior Football Operations Manager, Jason XERRI, about the senior team, the senior women's team, and the under-23s team, all gearing up for their shot at tournament glory in a week's time. Hey, like I said, heaps to get through, folks. So we're not going to rest. We're going to take a quick commercial break and then straight into the news desk after that. Don't go away, folks. It is DinamoTV you are watching.
The I&D Group is regarded as one of the largest deliverers of concrete structure solutions in Victoria. Formed in 1994 by Ivan and Kathy Filipovic, their passion and commitment to getting the job done safely and economically has underpinned their success in the industry. I&D partners with large-scale building and construction companies in both the private and public sectors on projects large and small. With our corporate headquarters based in South Melbourne and storage yard based in the southeast suburbs, we have at our disposal thousands of square metres of quality materials, along with state-of-the-art lifting and crane equipment, enabling us to deliver the largest projects. We are committed to delivering high-quality projects by partnering with our clients and collaborating with project suppliers to ensure each job is delivered to exceed expectations. From humble beginnings, I&D now employs more than 1,200 dedicated professional and support staff, involved in a number of landmark projects right across Victoria. The I&D Group is a massive supporter of the Croatian community, backed soccer clubs in Victoria, and is proud to be the major sponsor of the St Albans Dinamo Football Club in 2024.
Yes, a big shout out to all of our sponsors this year. It has been a huge year, and it's just going to get even bigger and bigger. And on top of that, next year is going to be even bigger, if not bigger. That's the word down at Churchill Reserve with the Australian Croatian Soccer Tournament this year. But also next year, it's our 50th anniversary as well, so the party will continue. Alrighty, let's take a look at what happened last weekend in the penultimate round of the Junior Boys NPL season. In the under-14s, the Dinamo ran out 2-4 losers to Hume City. James Tabakis and Xavier Boulos scoring the 2 goals for Dinamo. In the under-15s, Dinamo ran out convincing 5-1 winners away to Ballarat City. Maxim Mikulic scoring a hat-trick and Nicolas Logozzo scoring a brace as well. In the under-16s, they also recorded an away win, defeating Pascoe Vale 2-0. Dino Krmek and Eric Magro scoring the goals for the under-16s. And the under-18s, they played last week, midweek, by the way, and they defeated Altona Magic 8-2. Nicholas Mercedes scoring a hat-trick. Yanni Apostolikas scoring a brace. Joshua Angelis and Andrei Mihocic scoring 1 goal apiece. Before we have a look at the fixtures for the final round this weekend, let's turn our attention to the ladders. On your left there, you've got the under-14s, and they're likely to finish the season in 3rd position. On the right-hand side, the under-15s, they'll finish in 4th position. The under-16s over the page, they're in 4th at the moment. It could be a battle for them and between Ballarat City. And then the under-18s, they cannot be dislodged from top spot. They have won the under-18 Northwest Division 3, or the Division 3 Northwest Division have been crowned champions. So now if we have a look at the fixtures for round 22, and there is a little bit of a twist. This Sunday, 22nd of September, first of all, the under-14s, they travel to the Olympic Village to take on Heidelberg. That game kicking off at 9:30. Now, the under-15s and the under-18s, they will be playing their home games at Larissa Reserve. The under-15s kick off at 11:30. The Croatian derby against the Melbourne Knights. The under-18s, they will follow suit with their game against Werribee City at 1:15 p.m. And the reason for that is obviously because of the Croatian Soccer Tournament. The club is trying to do its best to make sure that the pitches are in pristine condition, and that they, certainly with all the rain we've been having recently, the ground being quite wet, every effort is being made to ensure that the pitches at Churchill Reserve are absolutely first class for the tournament. Now, the last but not least, we haven't mentioned the under-16s, and the under-16s, they travel away to Hume City, and that game at Hume City Stadium kicking off at 1 p.m. As we mentioned, the Cro Cup was held on last weekend down at Elko Park, home of the North Geelong Warriors Football Club, and they did a fantastic job. A record number of teams entered the Victorian Junior Cro Cup, teams from under-7s right up until the under-13s, something like 64 teams in total, or 64 games, 55 or 56 teams thereabouts. Dinamo came away absolute outstanding performers. Out of the 9 categories, age categories, Dinamo scooped first place in 6 of those. Under-7 boys, under-9 boys, under-10-11 boys combined, the under-12 boys and the under-13 boys, as well as the under-13 girls. So big shout out to everyone at North Geelong Warriors for doing such a fantastic job. And of course, a big shout out to all of our sister clubs, Melbourne Knights, Dandenong City, Strathmore Split, and of course, North Geelong. It is truly a fantastic day and an awesome opportunity to rekindle old friendships as well. We had, what did we have? Football Tech as well. Football Tech with one of the Football Tech directors, Jason Trefiro, next year becoming one of our junior technical director. Football Tech are also kicking off a series of clinics or programs, I guess, training sessions. And that's in term 4 with those games, with those training sessions to be held at Churchill Reserve. So they're all Monday night programs. And as you can see, it starts off on October the 14th. So during the duration of term 4, 5:15 to 6:30 p.m. we'll see the first class, which is the young ones, ages 6 to 9. And then from 6:45 to 8 p.m., it's the second class for those aged 10 to 14. And registrations will open this Friday from 5 p.m. and see our registration process below. All set to open tomorrow at 5 p.m. And you just have to go to footballtech.com.au/term/programs/ all the information is there. Rightio. During the week, We had the brand new electronic scoreboard Churchill Reserve. Shout out to Matt Sharkey from Evolution Electrical who sent us this footage, whose company was also heavily involved in the erection of this scoreboard. And it will be used for the first time during the tournament. And apart from obviously being a scoreboard, it'll also be a notice board, putting up a lot of our sponsors, advertisers, etc., etc. So well done to everyone involved in that. Remember, it was like something like $40,000 was raised for it. And how good is that? That's great to see that. Also, earlier today, we had Penley Constructions was as well. Penley Constructions, one of our platinum sponsors as well. They had the we had the club rooms painted blue, and also the marquee was set up as well. Mira from Penley Constructions sent us this footage, and this was taken only a few hours before the show went to air. Fantastic stuff happening there as well. So well done to everyone involved. Okay, well, we're going to take a very, very short break, and when we return, we will have all the latest. When we return, I'm just sorry about that technical issues there. When we return, we will have our very, very first guest, KRISTIAN DOLIC, who is the junior president of Dinamo. Don't go away, folks.
Westar Prestige is a family-owned second-generation business which is celebrating 50 years of operations this year. They're a specialist prestige collision repair facility situated in the western suburbs of Melbourne, Victoria. However, they service all regions in the state, with many of their clients travelling from far and wide to use their services. They're also able to provide a digital platform for quoting clients' vehicles who are unable to personally attend their premises. They're an authorised manufacturer-approved repair facilities for Mercedes-Benz, Tesla, Peugeot and Suzuki, and are proud of their ongoing affiliation with these brands. They also work closely with a number of Australia's largest insurance brands who entrust them to be part of their preferred repairer network. Their support staff are always happy to assist clients from the initial process of lodging claims through to the final stages of collection of the vehicle on completion of repairs and post-repair. So remember, for all your prestige collision repair needs, consider Westar Prestige, an award-winning, long-standing Australian-owned business.
Welcome back to DinamoTV. It's now time for our first guest, and last weekend we had a very, very successful trip down the highway to Geelong for the Victorian Croatian Junior Cup, the Cro Cup. And to tell us all about how Dinamo went at the event is the president of the Juniors Committee, KRISTIAN DOLIC. KRISTIAN, good evening and welcome to DinamoTV, or welcome back, I should say.
Yeah, thanks, Tunch. It's I think I was at the start of the year. I was on introducing, getting ready for the 2024 season. Now it's on the back end.
How quickly has it all gone? It's just absolutely nuts, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know, there's week in, week out, during the week, coaching, you know, parents, we've got volunteers, we've got the kids. It's pretty hectic, and you know what? It's always a relief as well coming to the back end of the season.
Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it, in a strange sort of a way? But I guess it's also a bit sad because we, you know, what are we going to do? People that are so used to, you know, 3, 4, 5 nights a week, we're actually going to have a life now after all that.
Well, I don't know life other than Dinamo, to be honest. My wife will disagree with me, but yeah, so it is a bit challenging when we come to it, but there's still plenty happening around the club for the next 3 months. Then we get into our Christmas break, and then we start all again, do it all again in 2025.
Yeah, well, we'll talk a little bit about that, but let's just jump back to last weekend and the Junior Cro Cup, and what an event it was. Despite the crap weather, gosh, Melbourne's weather is annoying, or Victoria's weather is annoying. But for all the under-7s right up through to the under-13s, there were 9 different age categories. And Dinamo came away with 6 of those 9 categories. What a great day out for the juniors.
Look, firstly, I'd like to thank North Geelong for hosting. They did an amazing job. It was well run. The weather, obviously, they didn't bring the weather with them, but the kids had a ball. And yes, as a club for St Albans Dinamo, we were very successful. As you said, 6 out of the 9. We got the top tier, which was great. Not to mention, I think out of the finals that were played, I think 3 of them were actually Dinamo versus Dinamo finals as well. So it's really good to see. We did have runners-up in our under 11-12 girls, which was also good. They lost on penalties to, I believe, Strathmore there. So really, really good week on a Saturday out there. Kids had a ball, parents had a ball. Well run. We can't complain.
Yeah, we've got some footage there of as you can see, it's quite wintry weather, and we've got some footage there and of some of the Dinamo teams playing last weekend. But overall, it's just a great day to catch up with a lot of young families, a lot of old friends you haven't seen for a long, long time, maybe since the I&D Community Day early in the year. But it's a good, I guess, a curtain raiser, if you like, to the Australian Croatian Soccer Tournament that awaits us next week at Dinamo.
Yeah, you're right, mate. It's a mini version of that, I suppose. Let's call that. But definitely, I look forward to catching up. These Cro Cups that we do, you see people that you don't see for a while again, and it is good just to, as a community, as a Croatian community, to just catch up with old friends and so forth. So really good, really good.
Yeah, and as we said, like that's some of the footage there that was held on the weekend. Now it's been a huge year for the Dinamo Juniors. You know, record numbers across the boards, massive increases with the girls. What's the general feeling, mate, amongst the parents, the coaches, the club, just going into what we expect to be an even bigger and better 2025?
Look, I think this year was successful overall across all our junior categories. We, as a community and as a club, we really went out above and beyond this year, and we're looking to expand on that in 2025. The coaches we'd like to thank from the club, the parents we'd like to thank from the club, and especially the kids. They're coming training week in, week out to be competitive. They're trying to obtain their skill levels and so forth, which has been great to see. And we've seen some really kids over the year develop. We can see that they get rewarded for it. We're looking at, the 2025 season will kick off we'll probably start training in January, although that we do have an expression of interest at the moment for all our mini roos and NPLs, which we encourage everyone to jump online. You'll find on the St Albans Dinamo Facebook page, and then you'll follow the prompts, and please put your name forward, come in for the trial, which will commence end of October into early November. And we're looking for a great 2025 season.
Yeah, it should be fantastic. And, mate, obviously with the news midway through the year that Football Tech are also going to come on board, or Jason Trefiro from Football Tech's going to come on board. How's that all panning out as well? How are the preparations and the planning for that going?
Yeah, we'd like to thank Nikola Makovsky for the years that he's given Dinamo. And then we also like to welcome Jason Trefiro into our club. So Jason will bring some really high value in. We know what he's capable of. We know what he's done with Football Tech, and the success that the kids that are coming out of there to play for overseas or even our national team here locally. So we're really looking forward to Football Tech coming on board. So nothing really changes from our aspect. I guess we've got Jason as a TD. He will assist with our juniors. And what he will have the facilities that he can utilise with his Football Tech and his sessions. That's just another bonus to the club and to our kids for development.
Yeah, now we've got the underneath in the ticker, and we'll also pop it in the chat lines as well. The link there, the jot form there for any expressions of interest for Mini Roos pre-NPL and girls players wanted for season 2025. Apart from that, look, the junior committee, we always want extra people to come on board, and we always want more new faces as well, because obviously what usually happens is we get people going onto the senior committee or the club committee. How's that all been happening this year, and who have been some of the biggest, I guess, helpers, if you like? Who have those been the ones that have really helped you out a lot?
Look, a whole committee as a whole. We run it as one. Yeah, we got Ilya as solely the president, and I sit there with Stepan Gal and look after the Miniroos. But we have our committee meetings as one joint meeting. We don't look at ourselves as junior and senior presidents and so forth. So the club really works well together like that. We've got our general meeting probably coming up, and we will announce that in the next couple of weeks after our Croatian tournament next week, which will then hopefully invite a lot of new faces. There's a lot of new people helping around at the club, and I'm always tapping them on the shoulder and saying, you know what, you should come join the committee. I reckon you're a value add to the club, and you'll be definitely assistance. So, but not just saying you have to be a part of the committee to help the club. We had a barbecue session for the kids on their last training session, and I can't thank all the parents that helped out that night to, get on the barbie, sort this out, sort that out. It was almost like a production line of sausages, but it was brilliant just to see that everyone can come on board as a community and help out,
Yeah.
The works that we're doing at Dinamo now for the tourney, again, thanks to all those contractors, all the hard labor that's been put into it. Without that, we'd still be having that gravel yard at the top there. So I really thank you and appreciate everyone's assistance there. So again, as a community, don't need to be a part of the community to help the club, but we know a lot of people are there just, putting a hand in.
Yeah, and we've seen during the week there was a tournament induction meeting. Well over 200 volunteers came. A lot of them are from the junior sector as well, helping out with the upcoming tournament next week, which is, can't stress how big it's going to be and how important it is going to be for our club. But, mate, thank you so much for your support this year and cooperation and collaboration. Anything else you'd like to say, Kristian, on behalf of the junior sector of the club?
So on behalf of myself and Stepan Gal and the club, I'd like to thank again all the coaches that helped out throughout the 2024 season. Nikola Makovsky, thank you. And all our parents that have put their vital time to bring their kids to training, be a part of the club and functions and everything else throughout the year. So we've got one more big thing next week that we want to go off with a big bang. Looking forward to it. And then we got our presentation the week after. So we'll finish off the 2024 season on a high.
Yeah, it should be absolutely fantastic. Really, really, really looking forward to what 2025 brings us, that's for sure. But in the meantime, here's a special message from some of the younger members of the club, some of the junior members of Dinamo.
We're the Dinamo Under-11s and you're watching DinamoTV.
Penley Constructions is proud to be a platinum sponsor of this year's Australian Croatian Soccer Tournament, to be hosted by the St Albans Dinamo Football Club later this month. Penley Constructions specialise in comprehensive concrete construction services, handling every aspect from excavation to formwork and all types of slabs. Their experienced team ensures precise execution and superior quality, professional attention to detail and design, and delivering durable and high-performing concrete solutions tailored to your project's needs. Over the past few weeks, owner-director Tony Tunjasevic has been volunteering his services at Dinamo to get the premises ready for the upcoming tournament. His wife Mira has also volunteered her time behind the bar at Dinamo. Not only do Tony and Mira volunteer their services at Dinamo, but they've also helped out fellow Croatian community-backed soccer clubs, the Melbourne Knights in the past, and are currently the major sponsors at Strathmore Split as well. Tunjasevic's are a true community family. And welcome back to DinamoTV, and as you could just see, Penley Constructions, they are one of our platinum sponsors for the upcoming Australian Croatian Soccer Tournament. So a big thank you and a big cheerio to Tony and Mira from Penley Constructions. To tell us a bit more about what is going on with the tournament. There's so much to get through, so much news, so many announcements. And the man to do that, he's becoming a regular on DinamoTV, and we love having him on the show. It's a good evening to MARKO BUTORAC. Mark, how you going, mate? How's things? It's getting closer, isn't it?
Conch, thanks for having me on again. I'm becoming a regular now. Look, we're 1 week to go. This time next Thursday, we will have for the viewers at home, we would have already had the opening ceremony and most of the way through the Thursday. So it feels like there's a lot happening, but it's really positive where things are just starting to fall into place. from an infrastructure point of view, from a comms, all the things that we've been talking about as a committee for the last almost year now, is starting to fall into place. So it feels, although it feels gigantic at the moment, it feels like it's all coming together at the right time.
Yeah, and you're an old hand at organising events. So if anyone's got everything under control, it certainly is you, mate. We mentioned Penley Constructions. We've also had Evolution Electrical, Future Tech on our show previous episodes. They are all, of course, our platinum sponsors. And we've got some fantastic gold sponsors, silver sponsors. The list goes on and on. But during the week, there was an announcement made. We had 2 more platinum sponsors jump on board.
Yeah, both AIM and Bazoom have jumped on board. AIM has an association with the club, and we're really thankful for them to go over and above what would be a normal season and get on board for the tournament. Bazoom is we're partnered with Bazoom from the start of the year, so they supply all our alcohol and soft drinks and others, and they knew about tournament at the start of the year, and we've partnered with them, and they've, we're going to do a couple of special things with Bazoom as well throughout the tournament. So keep an eye on that. And we're really thankful for their support across the 4 days because, as we know, for tournaments, food and alcohol is a big part of it. So it's great to have that resource on hand across the 4 days. And Bazoom have promised us if we need things on a Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning or across that weekend that they can have it delivered on site. So,
oh, wow.
Tonchi, no one will go thirsty.
Oh, that's good. That's good to know. Fantastic. And yeah, it is. There's nothing worse than in the middle of the night, something runs out, but to have it there pretty much on tap is fantastic. Mate, as we said, lots to get through. Over to you, mate. Tell us what else is happening with regards to the tournament.
Yeah, it's been a busy week this week as we start to build tournament, and what that looks like is some improvements around the club. Some cleaning up of some external areas. We've got some painting that's happening today. I saw some photos, and a big shout out to our whole community. Over the last couple of weeks, we had a working bee 2 weekends ago, and we filled a skip. As you can see, a couple of the images of the main Plava Kucha. That's pretty fresh. That's from today. So for those that know tournaments, where there'll be a big focus there in Plava Kucha, with music, bar, food all weekend, alongside the same offering inside the main club rooms. And as part of Plava Kucha as well, we'll have right next to it a VIP lounge, which is a thank you to all our sponsors and our partners across the tournament and associated with Dinamo. So it's all happening, Tonch. Some big improvements. The tournament's probably been a good opportunity, a good platform to make these improvements, to call in some favours and get people behind it. We're getting phone calls every day of saying, hey, I've got this, I can do this, and, where do you need me? So we're really thankful for the support. We officially have put in our new scoreboard, electronic scoreboard. Again, that's been a couple of weeks' worth with cabling, and the guys down at Evolution Electrical have supported, and Rob Hanela as well has been a big driving force behind getting the board up. So that'll be ready for tournament and obviously into next season. And we'll be showing our appreciation with some logos and of those sponsors and club logos and other bits and pieces throughout the 4 days.
How good is that scoreboard? That is going to be an absolute game changer. And can I just say big thank you to 2 of our platinum sponsors, Matt Sharkich from Evolution Electrical, you just mentioned. He sent us through that footage of that scoreboard during the week. And also to Mira from Penley Constructions, who also sent us that hot off the press footage earlier today. The marquee coming up absolutely fantastically there between pitches 1 and 3. And also, the Plava Kucha, I guess the club rooms all being painted in blue. So thank you to Matt and to Mira, 2 of our platinum sponsors as well. But geez, the legacy it's unreal. Before the tournament's even started, the legacy is being left. The scoreboard, the ground improvements, etc. But wow, what the tournament itself is going to do for the club and the club's community and the wider Croatian community is just going to be immeasurable, Budo. But tell us more.
We're really thankful, Tonch. I mean, the works for Tawny really started from the start of the year with these improvements and the planning that went into it, and the fundraising for the scoreboard earlier this year as well. And like you said, next year the club celebrates its 50th anniversary, which is another huge milestone. So to leverage off the tournament and make these improvements and invite people to Dinamo that perhaps locally haven't been here for a while to the club, or interstate coming to Dinamo for the first time. We want to make sure we're hospitable and the place looks neat and clean, and people can enjoy themselves next weekend.
Yeah. Now, there's heaps of ways that people can get involved, and even if you're from interstate or out of town and you're not going to be able to make it, you can still be a part of the tournament through merchandise sales, and merchandise sales absolutely have been going through the roof. Tell us a bit more about what is happening in that area, Mark.
Tonch, we've had a great response on merch. We've sold out of 2 particular items that we've had to reorder as well. And that's all been picked up from next week at the club rooms, which an incredible early response, which tells us that we've done well with the designs, and our merchandise team, Erica and Carl, have done a great job sourcing that, and one of our sponsors as well, Sign Utopia, have organised all the merch as well. So incredible response. We're only doing pickups at the moment. Had some messages online for interstate orders. Unfortunately, at the moment, we're only doing local pickups. So we want to make sure we exhaust all avenues for the people that are going to be there at Tawny. And then following Tawny, if there's a few items left over, which we hope there isn't, we'll open it up and we'll organise some interstate parcel orders.
Fantastic. Now, another big fundraiser over the course of the weekend is going to be the big tournament raffle. Look at that. $15,000 first prize, $3,500 second prize, and even the third prize is nothing to be scoffed at, $1,500 for a grand total prize pool of $20,000. Do we know how tickets are going for that, or they're able to be sold right up until the very, very last day, isn't it?
Yeah, we've been selling them probably in the last 6 weeks. So towards the end of the season, we got things printed and organised, and we kind of wanted to let Dinamo do their own fundraising throughout the year, and then start to introduce this as an additional. We've had a great response the last 2 home games. Shout out to North Geelong for allowing the team to sell last week at the junior tournament. Strathmore Split as well have sold some tickets on our behalf as well. So it's had a great response. And Tonchi, imagine on the Sunday afternoon from a previous tournament, someone told you you'd walk away with $1,500 at the end of the weekend. That'd be pretty special, but let alone the first prize.
Yeah, absolutely. Incredible stuff. Now, speaking of the last day of the tournament, it's become a big tradition. Have the world's biggest collar after the culmination of the on-field action. Are we going to expect something like that again this year?
Yeah, we are. We've got something up our sleeve for the Sunday night, and it will include, we'll say, the largest collar in the Southern Hemisphere, perhaps. Which has been a great tradition from previous, the last couple of tournaments, and just making it a great celebration for all at the end of Sunday. We've got Major Minor booked in, but we do have something special planned, and it is going to be something for all ages as well. So we really want the kids and the adults and the players and the members and supporters to really come together as one big celebration.
Oh, should be an absolute fantastic day on Sunday, but also the tournament kicking off on Thursday. We've also got big news about the finals. All of the finals will be live streamed as well on the Sunday.
Yeah, that was one of our commitments, Tonchi, as part of our bid to the other clubs in Sarvez. Adelaide had brought that in last year for a couple of the games, and we're committed to broadcasting the 5 finals on the Sunday. We've got some special guest commentators as well, and thanks to you, Tonch, for your support there and helping organise that. But we will have all 5 finals available through our social media feeds and also through Dinamo's YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. So for those at home watching from overseas, perhaps you'll be able to get a taste of Tawny and hopefully some 5 fantastic finals to cap off the big weekend.
Yeah, we'll go through very, very, very quickly. We'll go through all of those at the moment. So we've got, first of all, I think we've got the, is it the veterans or the masters?
Veterans.
The veterans.
Yeah, the veterans, I guess we'll say oldest to youngest, but veterans will kick off first thing in the morning at 10:15, and then we'll get into the Masters final, then followed by the women's, and that's women's Division 1, and then we'll have the Division 2 final, and then the Division 1 final is the Pinnacle, and that'll end at about 6 p.m. on the Sunday evening.
There's a quick recap of all the fixtures there. We've gone through, there's the women's division, men's Division 2.
Yep.
So that game is going to be at 2:30 p.m. The women's one is at 1 p.m. and then it all culminates with the Division 1 final. That should be an absolute pearler, that one. And that kicks off at 4:30 p.m. So regardless, obviously with the tournament being brought forward, daylight savings won't have kicked in. So we're going to have a night final. How good
under
is
lights.
that? Under lights, there's going to be fireworks and what you're not, flares, who knows, God knows. But
hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But it's going to be lots of colour, lots of action, and the atmosphere is going to be something electric. That's for sure. Mate, any other news? How are ticket sales going with all of the other functions? The ladies' lunch, the gala night, the fish night, the disco. My gosh, there's so much going on.
Yeah, we wanted to cater for all people. And we've had some feedback about, in particular, the Friday night disco. It's become a younger and a younger event, and we've got a generation similar to mine, the 40 plus, that are keen to still be involved. So we introduced the fish night. That was really a Dinamo initiative, and we've taken that on board. And it's fantastic. Touch, we've got all our events on Eventbrite, other than the gala itself, and it's worked in our favour because traditionally you'd buy your disco ticket, 2 days before the disco or while you're at tournament. So this has given us an opportunity to pre-sell, given us an idea of how those events are going and plan appropriately. Obviously, for the fish night, we want to make sure that we've got enough snapper, so that's really important.
Yeah.
The ladies' lunch will sell out. We're not that far away. The disco is at capacity. We've taken it to a city location. We won't sell more than what the venue can hold. So I'd encourage everyone to get in there. And so the ladies' lunch is doing really well. The fish night is selling really well. And again, that'll be inside the Dinamo club rooms on the Friday night. And the Plava Norch, which is something we introduced, that'll run at the same time as the gala upstairs. So the gala upstairs is a sit-down traditional event, and the downstairs is more of a relaxed stand-up cocktail type function. And we got Michael Pinjel playing downstairs. So we kind of splitting it. We thought the younger demographic, they're keen to get dressed up, don't necessarily want to sit there and enjoy the gala all night.
Yeah.
So this gives them another avenue. So, it's been really successful having everything set up on Eventbrite and those tickets. I'm in charge of that, and I keep getting the notification. So it's fair to say that things have picked up this week as we get closer to next Thursday.
Fantastic, mate. Well, 1 week to go, and there's still a few little things to go, including volunteers, and that's probably the last thing we'll chat about tonight. But there's still a couple of gaps, and tell us a little bit more about that and how people can get involved with regards to volunteering.
Yeah, Tonch, we're up to 270 volunteers, and it's incredible. We had a target of 200, and we just kept having people register their interest, whether they could do a shift or more. Even though we got 270 with the availability, and because we are stretched across two venues, we do have a call out. And what we'll do is we'll post in the chat here, Lucy, our volunteer extraordinaire, who's coordinating those shifts. So we'll post a number. If you haven't registered yet, get in touch with Lucy direct. And just a call out to our own volunteers as well. If there's a day that you can pick up because of, work's changed or your situation's changed, get in contact with the volunteers team because they'd love to chat and try to fill some of those gaps.
Excellent. On that note, mate, thank you so much for joining us on DinamoTV. Still a week to go before the greatest show in town hits Churchill Reserve. And that AFL Grand Final weekend, that's nothing. This is the big show, and there's even a public holiday on the Friday, so it's going to augurs well for a massive massive event this time next week.
So, Tonch, Thursday night, we want to welcome everyone to the club. Matches will start from about 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. at both venues. So they'll be, things will kick off from Thursday afternoon. Then we'll have the official opening ceremony at 6 p.m. at Dinamo. So the games from Gully will cease and everyone will come across. And then so all the teams will be lined up on pitch 1. And then we're encouraging the public to come. We've got, we'll have a blessing. We'll have a priest, Boselko from Clifton Hill. We've got a couple of politicians there. So we want to really put the tournament on show as well. Hrvatska Order will be leading the national anthems and a performance. And then followed by that, we'll kick off. Dinamo will be on the main pitch from 7 o'clock. So lots of food, lots of drink, lots of music. It's all happening from next Thursday.
Fantastic. Look forward to that, mate. Thanks very much for that. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Tonchi. Thanks.
Marko Butorac, a member of the organising committee of the Australian Croatian Soccer Tournament, Dinamo 2024. Folks, we're going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll catch up with the football operations, or the senior football operations manager here at Dinamo, Jason XERRI. Stay tuned for that, folks. Don't go away. DinamoTV, and we're flying through the guests tonight, and it's now time to welcome our third guest for tonight, for this evening. He's the Senior Football Operations Manager at Dinamo. It's an absolute pleasure to welcome back to the show Jason XERRI. Jason, it's had a bit of a break since the season ended, but we're back into the swing of things. Good evening. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good evening, Tonch. I'm well, thank you. It's obviously a lot coming up for the club in the next couple of weeks, especially next week. So, it's exciting times ahead.
Yeah, now, obviously the season finished, not even a month ago or thereabouts, whatever. The lads had a little bit of a break, but not much of a break, and they're back into the swing of things, training for the tournament. Tell us, how have things gone since the season ended? How many weeks did they have off, and have they been training, how many, 2 times, 3 times a week?
No, look, they've basically been training between 1 to 2 sessions a week. For the last, I think, 2 weeks now or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
They took a week off after the season had been finished, the last round of the season against South Melbourne, and a few of them went on holidays. A couple of them went up to the group thing to Bali, as they do on most seasons. Staff had a bit of a break as well, and come back and done the couple of sessions a week. So, look, not too much of a big break. I guess once tourney's over, we'll the players themselves and the staff will have a bit of a break. As far as the football department, though, it doesn't really stop with myself.
Yeah. Now, last Friday you had the gold medal night, the Football Victoria gold medal night. So there was a delegation of the club that went along to that. And I guess obviously this weekend is all preparation for tournament next week. But it is going to be pretty crazy. There'll be gala nights. There'll be not disco nights. There'll be long days, and I'm sure some of the players will probably also be helping out from volunteering from time to time. But it's a pretty full-on weekend for the club and everyone associated with the club. But what about the players? What's Cameron's plans? Is he kind of like wanting the boys to get to bed nice and early and stay nice and refreshed and hydrated? Obviously non-alcoholically speaking. What are the plans for the tournament? Because I guess we are hosting it, so there tends to be a little bit of that pressure on the host to perform well, isn't there?
Yeah, look, certainly. I mean, I guess some clubs take it seriously, some don't. Some use it as a bit of a getaway. Look, I think Dinamo's always been a club that's taken the tournament seriously, irrespective of where it's been, and hence obviously probably being. I'm not sure if I'm correct in saying that. I think Dinamo's won the most tourneys, or
I think so. I think it's like a
nights
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So look, I look obviously in my 10 years that I've been at the club, and obviously COVID years, taking COVID years out, we've always taken tourneys seriously. Creaney was obviously at the helm of that for most part, and he's to give the boys an opportunity to have a good time whilst they were away. But at the same time, we had a job to do and we were representing the club. So
yeah,
it's a bit of a balancing act, really. And I think most of the boys are pretty, most of the boys that have been around for a while know what's required, and some of the new ones will learn pretty quickly. So look, I mean, we do, we take every tourney reasonably, seriously, and I guess this us being host this year especially, probably even more so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at the structures for Division 1. Oops, the wrong one there. Here we go. The tournament Division 1 structure. There it is. Dinamo is in Group A. Is being dubbed the Group of Death, with teams such as O'Connor Knights, who've done very well in the ACT NPL competition, Sydney United, of course, Adelaide Croatia, who made a return to the NPL South Australia competition, and our near neighbours, Melbourne Knights. Tough division, that one. We'll quickly look at Group B. Canberra, Croatia, Hurstville, Zagreb, Strathmore, Split, Dandenong City, and the North Geelong Warriors. But definitely Group A, Jason, that's going to be the tougher of the groups. And I guess whoever ends up on top of Group A would probably be odds-on favourite to take the competition. But it's going to be 3 or 4 days of absolute top-notch entertainment, isn't it?
Yeah, look, absolutely. Look, the tourneys, they you have some cracker games sometimes, and it's usually never a whitewash, so it gets pretty competitive. And especially in Group A, which obviously we're involved in, it is a very tough group. And over the years, we've played all those teams, and certainly there's always been, they've always been quite competitive games. So, definitely not. I'm sure no one's going to be taking anyone for granted.
Yeah, that's for sure. Let's have a quick look at the tournament fixtures themselves. All the action kicks off on Thursday afternoon. 3 o'clock, we come up against Adelaide, Croatia. That game is going to be it kick-starts the whole tournament, and then there'll be games on Thursday and Friday, and then and the semi-finals will be on Saturday, nice and early, 1 p.m. kickoff, before the final on Sunday afternoon, 4:30 p.m. So that certainly ensures that the final will finish under lights on the main pitch. The atmosphere will be absolutely electric. One thing that's guaranteed, one thing that's assured, is there's going to be a big crowd, several thousand when it's the final, and then everyone no doubt will be still hanging around. From all accounts, there's going to be a Guinness World Record attempt at the biggest call-up that has become the tradition after every tournament. But that certainly is going to be an incentive for the boys, isn't it, to possibly play in front of 2,000-3,000 fans under lights. The atmosphere is going to be quite electric, won't it, Sunday?
Yeah, look, absolutely. Look, I've been privileged enough to as I said, to attend, I think, eight tourneys. Obviously, the 2 years they didn't have them with COVID, and fortunate enough to win 3. So, absolutely wonderful atmosphere. It's a credit to the Croatian community, and especially the football community, and what they put together with this tourney. It's quite entertaining, quite competitive, and I've said it to a few people. Unless you've actually been to one, it's you don't get a true appreciation of what it's all about. And again, we're looking forward to it. I'm personally looking forward to it, and hopefully we'll represent the club in the way we need to and we should, like we have in the past.
Yeah. What do you most look forward to that's at the tournaments? I mean, as someone who's known Croatians all his life and grown up with Croatians, and you yourself have got Maltese background. I mean, we've spoken about this off air many a time. But what is it, mate, for you personally? What do you look for, or what are you looking forward to most at the upcoming tournament at Dinamo?
Look, obviously there's the football element to it, which obviously that's what we're, from my point of view, what I'm there for. But I think what really what I appreciated about is just the coming together of people, and irrespective of what nationality you are. But I mean, I think it was a couple of years ago, and I can't remember which. I think it might have been Gold Coast, where I just started talking to some random couple, and they were a mature couple, and they were sort of telling me that they were there nothing to do with football. They were just there to catch up with family from interstate and so forth. So the fact that it brings people together, for all sorts of reasons, it's fantastic, and the food's great. It's a spectacle, and look at ultimately. Sport is about bringing people together, and this is probably the biggest advocate of that as far as a community-based program goes, no doubt. And I've been to a couple of other tournaments with other clubs that I've been involved with over the years, and this hands down is bigger than Ben Hur, to be honest. It's really good. It's growing every year, and the fact, look, that Dinamo, our club, is hosting it this year. It's tremendous, and congratulations to everyone involved at the club who have worked tirelessly and continue to work tirelessly throughout, this whole year in preparation. It's not an easy feat to host a tournament. There's challenges there with council and so forth, and they've had to jump over hoops to get some things across the line. And hats off to them, because I can tell you now, there's probably a lot of people who've given up by now. And the great thing about tournament as well, I guess the other thing is it's an opportunity for clubs to they tend to spend a bit of time in sort of upgrading their facilities a little bit, and no doubt we've done that at Dinamo with many exciting things happening, which will also pave the way for other things in the future. But a new scoreboard, new car park, many great things happening around the club. The club's getting a refresh inside and out. So, the tourney, it's not just about the tourney and the 4 or 5 days themselves, but it's the sort of legacy it leaves and the infrastructure it leaves apart from the actual physical tournament itself. So, it's exciting time ahead, exciting times ahead for the club. And again, honoured and privileged to be part of Dinamo at this point in time and see some of the great things that are happening there.
As we can see there, the scoreboard that was erected earlier this week, absolutely fantastic to see. And that's just one of the improvements that are happening around the place as well. But I guess once the tournament is finished, pretty much that's the next phase of improvements for next season. The pitch is expected to be dug up and a whole new pitch put in time for next season. So the legacy remains, and there's going to be some exciting things happening there as well. But in the meantime, we've got a tournament to play in 2 weeks' time, or a week's time. We'll go quickly now through the Division 2 fixtures. And we've also got a team in this one. Now, I guess this will be the youth team, but geez, there's some very, very talented young players. And this is the perfect platform for them, Jason, to really show what they've got against other quality sides and other quality senior sides as well, both interstate and from here in Victoria. So this is another wonderful opportunity for some of our talented youngsters to break into senior football.
Look, absolutely. And I think... I've had a word to the younger guys. I have a word to them every year about this before we go away to tourney. Is don't take this opportunity for granted, because coaches use this platform as a base to certainly look at some of the youngsters. I know Crooney did that really well over the years, and Guff did it as well, where we used the opportunity at tourney to give these young kids a bit of an opportunity. Then that's sort of that opportunity they take it, then sort of leads into pre-season and obviously these style of things on there onwards. So, yeah, absolutely, something that the youngsters should be grabbing with both hands and doing their best at this time. Tuna's got the 23s. I believe there's some under 18s coming up to assist with that as well. So it's again. I think the first time, from what I'm understanding, that we've got 2 teams in the competition. Purely, Dinamo teams apart from Vukovar and the others that are involved with the club as well.
Yeah.
At this level. So, fantastic. Fantastic for them as well to be to get that chance, and certainly will be. The coaching staff will be definitely taking all that into consideration. Come pre-season when we put squads together and so forth.
Well, there you go. To the league-winning Division 3 under-18s. They've been put on notice. Some of those players will be given an opportunity. And here's a great, great opportunity to really show you can play at senior level. And finally, we'll have a take a look at the women's division as well, Division 1. Dinamo as well would have to rank as one of the favourites alongside North Geelong Warriors, Strathmore Split and Canberra Croatia and Dandenong City as well. So there's 5 teams in this competition. All the preliminary games will be on Thursday and on Friday. And then it's the top 2 go straight to the final. So they'll have the day off on the Sunday and then on the Saturday rather. And then on Sunday at 1 p.m, that game will be the final. And it's great news, as we heard from Marko Butorac earlier. All the games on the finals, all the finals games will be live streamed as well. So that's something fantastic for the club and for the players themselves. But Jason, we wish you all the best coming ahead of the tournament, and certainly after the tournament. It's going to be a nice little break, a chance to recharge the batteries, and then it's all systems go for pre-season.
Yeah, look, absolutely, mate. We're looking forward to this week coming, especially. There's some exciting things happening behind the scenes with the senior squad as well, with some signings that we've got on board over the duration of the last couple of weeks. Obviously, we'll announce those in due course. There'll obviously be some departures as well. But from the football side of it, and the senior men's team and the 23s, there's still a lot of work going on behind the scenes to ensure that we've prepared ourselves well enough for the 2025 season.
Awesome, mate. Thank you very much again for joining us on DinamoTV.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
See you at the tournament. Bye-bye. Jason XERRI, the Senior Football Operations Manager at Dinamo. Very, very hard-working man indeed, and he's just clocked up just over 10 years here at Dinamo. Long service leave, well and truly overdue, but he loves the club so much that he'll be putting that on hold. We'll be back in a sec, very, very shortly, to wrap things up tonight in the penultimate episode of DinamoTV before the Australian Croatian Soccer Tournament kicks off this time next week. And that, folks, brings us to the very, very end of tonight's episode of DinamoTV. But before we do go, do stay tuned to Major Minor's social media platforms this weekend. Major Minor, the icon of the Croatian community, and they are going to have a big involvement in the upcoming Australian Croatian Soccer Tournament. Well, this Sunday, they are dropping the official anthem for the Australian Croatian Soccer Tournament, and Major Minor, including our very own legend, Mick Cholina, Dinamo legend, and they will be releasing that this Sunday, so stay tuned for that. Apart from that, just a reminder, next week's show is coming out on Wednesday night, not on the Thursday night. On the Thursday night, we will all be down at Churchill Reserve taking the opening ceremony, the opening day's play, and watching Dinamo in action from 7 p.m. under lights at Churchill Reserve. So, folks, do come along next Thursday down to the club rooms. It's going to be an absolute perler of a night to kickstart 4 days and nights of football, festivities, and Croatian culture. On behalf of the entire team here at DinamoTV and all the ones behind the scenes, my name's Tonči Prusats. I look forward to having your company next Wednesday night. Remember, not Thursday, next Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Good night.